I'm gonna make a mocha this morning. We're gonna see how it goes. Let's turn on this light here. First, I'm gonna get my water boiling, and I've seen other people do this as well. But what I have the drip tray that came with my espresso machine. I'm actually gonna put it on top of the boiler, so that on top of the kettle, I should say, so that I can put the brew chamber and the portafilter on top of here, so that it preheats that instead of kind of doing it any other sort of way. This is just a very clean way to be able to do it. So, get some water in there. And this is just the nature of my process, is that I boil a lot more water than I need, just because it produces a lot more steam, a lot more heat going up, so it just makes it a little easier to get these bad boys to a good temperature. So set those guys there. All right. What I've been doing recently is, this is from the World Foods Market, is I have this bed and breakfast. I believe it's a medium roast that I've been using. I'm gonna measure out 17 grams. Ooh, overshot it a little bit. There we are, ish. That's 16.9. Get one more bean and we'll call it a day. And I'm using the Flair Royal grinder here. Recently I've been using it on setting 8, so that that gets me the fineness that I'm looking for. And I don't believe I've mastered this process yet. Getting the grind size just right, in addition to extraction time and puck prep and all that stuff, is I still have a lot to go in that journey. But anyway, so I'm on setting 8. I'm gonna grind this. And as we're finishing up, I'll give that a couple spins just to make sure there aren't any rogue beans still clinging to life in there. Want it all to be pretty ground. So until that is properly preheated, I'm just going to leave that right there. I'm going to go and put my scale right here, and I'll get a cortado glass right here. This is just going to catch the espresso. Now while that's still going, I'm going to get the milk ready to be heated, and I'll go and get my glass ready as well. Let's use this bad boy today, an absolute icon here. We're gonna put some of this Torani dark chocolate sauce in here. I'm still figuring out exactly how much to use it. I used it for the first time yesterday, I think. I'm just gonna dump it, if it'll go. Okay, and then I'm gonna try, I tried this last time, it didn't work out very well. Putting it on the sides as well. It's a lot more aesthetically pleasing on a transparent glass, as you might imagine, but it's this is more or less what it looks like there. Okay, and then just for some funness, cherry syrup flavor, just gonna add a little dabble there. Don't want a whole lot, don't want it to overpower the rest of the mocha here. And my struggle lately has been balancing getting 34 grams of espresso-ish out of this thing, while also having the right balance between that flavor and also mixing it out with too much mocha. I think that's my problem right now. Is I'm putting too much mocha, too much milk, not enough espresso. So anyway, we're gonna see what happens this time. Walking around the countertop here, I've got use this good old measuring cup here. I'm gonna pour 150 milliliters of milk. Let's see. And then once I do that, my amateur brain is like, this doesn't seem like a whole lot, but then once you, again, getting that balance right of espresso to milk, the eternal struggle. I'll walk around here now. Now, this whole setup is why I have pliers and a towel here to prevent spilling, hot water, all that kind of stuff. And then if I feel like this is a little too much to deal with, you know, I've got this. So almost there. You don't have a very good look, but this you can see it getting condensation all over this. Now I'm pretty sure most coffee espresso tutorials tell you to wipe the portafilter dry. I haven't been doing that. Let's see what happens. So this is really hot. I'll put in this guy here. Give this a couple taps. Pour. Make sure I didn't miss any. Put that back. Grab my WDT. This is great for breaking up the clumps and getting just a bit more, get the grounds a little more even across the puck. This is another little thing that I feel like probably helps quite a bit. I'm still working on having it really go to my advantage here, because sometimes I feel like maybe I just don't do it right, or I rush this part of the process, and then it's like my puck is all uneven or something like that. I'm going to give it a tap, make sure that it's straight. Okay, and then this is a me thing. I'm going to leave this funnel on while I tamp it. There we are. Take both off. Here we are. Put the puck on. And what I should have done is go ahead and reset this bad boy. And then go ahead and put that guy on, get that guy boiling and preheated. The downside to not doing that earlier is now this guy is losing heat while it's waiting for that guy to also be heated up. So that seems to be an important common thread with using this Flair espresso manual espresso maker, is that heat retention is just really important to be able to create good espresso. Okay, that's fine. Put that guy on. Take this guy away. I'll put the lid on. It helps a little bit with water spillage, but not a whole lot, to be honest. Turn on my scale. All right, now I'm going to put the pressure gauge on. And I've learned recently that the pre-infusion process is part of the extraction time here. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer, which I have not been doing in the past. I'm going up to 3 bars here. I'm going to take it to, let's say, 12 seconds. And then I'm going to go all the way to 9 bars now. Now this is one of those times where I really wish I had a mirror or another camera or something so I could see how even the extraction is across the portafilter there. Everything is shaping up to be okay though, which is nice. Seems like I'm a little behind here. I'm at 45 seconds. I'm doing a 2-to-1 ratio, or attempting to. And finally that was 54 seconds at 37 grams. Not quite perfect, which I'm learning you have to be if you want to create good espresso. Giving it a bit of a stir. Okay. Doesn't taste great, but that's where all of this fancy mess comes in. The thing I've learned is that you can have espresso that just tastes okay. Once you combine it with all the other sugary stuff, like it's not going to matter too much necessarily how the espresso is going to taste. Obviously, the better the espresso, the better the final product will be. But I think for my purposes, it's not. Like, this is fine. I think what I've done here, let me see. I feel like it tastes sour, but that wouldn't necessarily make sense because I feel like the extraction was a little too long. I don't know. Okay. They say that when you're still learning how to make espresso, some of the details in there, like tasting the difference between sour and bitter, is kind of tough. Obviously, I'm still learning that. Okay, I'm gonna use this cheap little thing to get me kind of the milk that I want. And the thing that helps me a little bit is to avoid getting a little bit more of just the thick cappuccino foam, is to, or I guess what I should say is what helps me a little bit more to get the thinner microfoam-ish that a steam wand will get you, is that I keep this pretty deep so that it doesn't grab so much air from the top and bring it in. It's a little more picky that way, I guess. It still doesn't get me exactly what I want. I feel like this can't really replace a steam wand, at least this cheap thing in my experience. So I'll rinse that off while I'm at it. Give a chance for this to rest for a second. Okay, now, first thing, I should put the espresso in here. So now we have the dark chocolate syrup, the cherry syrup, and then the coffee all in here. I'm gonna give this a couple taps, a couple good stirs. And I think this is just the nature of the kind of foam that I get with that sort of thing, is that it takes a little bit for this to kind of mix fully, I feel like. And then even when it does, the consistency is still a little too thick for my taste. Again, that's just the difference between a cheap foamer wand, a frothing wand, versus a steam wand that comes with a legit espresso machine. Okay, it's about there. I'm not even going to attempt latte art or anything like that. I'm just going to go. So I just pour it in. You can see the way it sort of drips out is a little thicker. Okay. And then I did almost basically the exact same thing as I've done all the other times. I'm still trying to learn. It's so it's just white. So I'm gonna give that a good stir, and that'll especially help a little bit with getting the syrups all kind of mixed in and everything, and the coffee as well. So should have should have thought of this a second ago. But I'm going to use this tiny little spoon here just to... You can use a regular spoon too. I don't see why you couldn't. Again, I think my biggest problem is the milk still being too thick and it turning into a sort of cappuccino kind of mix more than anything else. I'm half tempted to just scrape off the top of, you know, all this thick milk here. But it doesn't taste terrible. All right. I know I'm probably feel like I'm breaking all the rules right now. Okay, give it a good sip. I'd say that's pretty good. Again, I think I got the balance wrong yet again because I just got into the habit. I actually want to start measuring out all the different portions of the syrup, the dark chocolate stuff, you know, whatever else, so that I know exactly what I'm putting into the coffee. Otherwise, I feel like this is just going to be a trial and error thing that's going to go for a lot longer than it needs to be. But it tastes good, and I feel like at the end of the day, my metric for myself is how much would I pay for this. And let me see. $2. Yep. Could be better, could be worse. All right, and that's how I make a mocha.